Hello from faraway Poland. It's Michal.
And Bartek. Unfortunately, we won't be doing a sightseeing tour of our beautiful country, but we do have some interesting stuff to show you today.
We work for GISPartner, an IT company with the name which says it all. A company which over the last 18 years has done quite a bit of GIS projects in Poland.
In the next 30 minutes, we will take you on a supersonic trip of some of our most interesting projects and technologies. And when we return, you'll know that Poland should not only be linked with high-quality liquor, but also advanced software development.
Which in fact may be sometimes mysteriously related.
So, let's start with a few words about our company.
Thank you, Bart. I'm Giselle, and it's a great privilege to talk to you guys. 2003. The Second Gulf War broke out. Dolly, the first cloned mammal, and Concorde, the first and the only commercial ultrasonic passenger jetliner, has both finished their duties. In the meantime, in the heart of Europe, 14 years after Solidarity won with communism, Polish IT sector marked two important events. The very last, 300-kilo, Polish-made computer Odra 1305 from the 70s, was turned off in the beautiful city of Wrocław. And in the same year, and the same city, a new GIS-focused software company was started. And it was just in time. The Capgemini survey showed that the public sector was in a great need of digitalization. The level of e-government services was estimated in Poland for at 21%, while the average for the EU in 2003 was 60%. Okay, so it all started in a local ESRI branch in Wrocław. The group of 4 GIS enthusiasts finally formed an independent company, GISPartner. At the beginning, ESRI-based projects were strictly in our focus. We quickly gained the official ESRI partner status. Many of the initial projects were related to spatial planning, which was crucial for making Poland's rapid development possible. As we were building a portfolio of clients, we were gaining competence in other technologies, including open source, so we could provide best-suited product for different needs and budgets. The expertise we get from the quickly growing number of GIS implementations led us to a shift from project to product approach. We learned that there is a significant common part in many GIS projects. Therefore, we heavily invested in our proprietary GIS platform, IMAP. IMAP allows us to smoothly implement GIS technology for a wide variety of applications. IMAP includes a complete set of components for GIS projects, including web and mobile clients and the Advanced Enterprise Service Bus. In 2021, GISPartner is a leader in GIS implementations in Poland. During 18 years of hard work, we not only successfully delivered the largest and most complex GIS projects in Poland, but also built a proprietary technology to offer the advanced possibilities at the affordable prices. We also offer a range of complementary technologies like process management systems, support portals for local governments, sophisticated integrations, including GIS and SAP plant maintenance for advanced infrastructure management, cutting-edge analytics based on graph analysis for business and public services.
GISPartner has a fascination of technology in its DNA. It has always been a key for our development, not just a side effect of making business in IT. It is our focus on quality which made it possible to build a company employing now over 100 top-notch experts in many fields.
Okay, This creates a blend of unique competencies, which helps us not only to carry out key IT projects in Poland, which contribute to the development of our country, but also build the technological advantage of our solutions.
They are amazing indeed, and quite complex as well, but we don't have much time and we will rush through some of them. We do encourage you to contact us if you want to get into details.
So grab some coffee and let's ignite.
Let's begin with the biggest and most important GIS project in Poland. It's owned and managed by Head Office of Geodesy and Cartography. This is a central institution responsible for a state policy in the field of geodesy and cartography. This includes maintaining geodetic and cartographic data on the central level. Thus, they also take care of making these data widely accessible and compliant with INSPIRE directive. INSPIRE, a European Commission initiative, creates a European Union spatial data infrastructure, which allows the sharing of environmental spatial information among public sector organizations, facilitate public access to spatial information across Europe, and assist in policymaking across boundaries. This is done through infrastructures for spatial information established and operated by the member states of the European Union. In Poland, the system is called National Geoportal and it's based on our technology. Geoportal allows to combine sets of spatial data drawn from resources provided by different state institutions into a coherent entity, accessible in electronic form on the Geoportal, a portal using an interactive engine for searching maps, including tools that allow for searching and analyzing spatial data. Geoportal takes an important role in modernizing Polish public administration, allowing more and more processes to be carried online. One of the biggest challenges in this project was to allow access to huge amount of data, also sourced from different institutions, in one place, on one map. There are tons of layers of data one can access on Geoportal. They include cadastral data, geographic database, database of topographic objects, orthophoto maps, satellite imaginary, environmental data, topographic maps, state register of borders, state register of geographical names, numeric terrain model, geological data and so much more. In terms of technology used, the Geoportal architecture consists of components representing various suppliers and GIS technologies. This includes Esri, Intergraph, GISPartner's IMAP, and open source, GeoServer and GeoNetwork. GISPartner's proprietary technology used in the Geoportal project includes IMAP Client, IMAP Server, IMAP ESB, and IMAP Mobile. IMAP Client is a product that allows the integration of many map services, and provides dedicated tools like searching for objects, selection, editing, reporting and analysis. Tools for searching for spatial objects allow finding selected locations in the content of an interactive map. Identification of selected objects along with their relations to other data resources enables the construction of a comprehensive picture of reality. Extensive editing tools support administrative processes in various public institutions, at the national and local level. An additional advantage is the possibility of making sets of tools supporting the work of users, available via a web browser. IMAP Server is a back-end server software component. It provides access to attribute data, descriptive data. The great advantage of IMAP Server is the ability to access data stored in relational, multi-level structures, which distinguishes this solution from other spatial data servers, like ArcGIS Server. The IMAP Server communication interface is based on the REST API. IMAP ESB is a central element of the system. It mediates communication between system components as well as external domain systems, by providing network services. The ESB for communication uses interceptors, modules that are responsible for understanding a given protocol and its appropriate processing, both in terms of communication and security, transformation, conversion and validation. The product also has interceptors connecting to databases, LDAP directories and REST services, which have a full auxiliary function, supplying the context of the processed queries for additional information conditioning the transmission of messages. It can act as a load balancer by distributing queries to individual configuration nodes, and thanks to the built-in dynamic message routing function, Appropriately separate and segregate supported queries into dedicated nodes for a given service. IMAP Mobile provides access to spatial data services on the mobile devices, both Android and iOS. Today, National Geoportal is one of the most popular public sector online services. In fact, it was on the third place in 2020 with almost 5.5 million visits. And 2021 is going to be even better with almost 1 million visits in March only. Phew. That was intense. But we're not slowing down, so let's dive right into the project we did for an institution called Polish Waters. They are responsible for the national water resources management, and have really wide competences. In fact, if water is not bottled, it's quite likely they are responsible for it. Protecting water's resources, draft prevention, flood protection system, charging and collecting fees for water services, supporting administrative decisions. 6,000 of their employees do it all. The system called ISOK is one of the key elements in Polish protection system against extreme hazards. ISOK uses data collection technologies, mathematical models and threat maps to develop early predictions of potential threats, their scale, and how to prepare for such adverse events. ISOK is of particular use to services engaging with areas under threat from floods and other potential crises, particularly local and regional authorities. It is also a crucial tool for businesses considering investment in certain regions. Anyone in Poland can also use the emergency tools of the system and receive mobile notifications about harsh weather conditions. This is another complex project we could make a day-long presentation, but let me just name a few ISOK's features. Flood hazard maps, flood risk maps, maps of meteorological hazards, such as storms or intense precipitation, and hydrographic map of Poland. Digital terrain model and a model of land cover and an orthophoto map, obtaining a digital topographic map known as the Database of Topographic Objects, BDOT. New hydrological calculations for all rivers covered by the project, according to unified methodology, and for a historical period. Mathematical and hydraulic modeling of the floods and failure of embankments, for all rivers covered by the project. ISOK contains nationally harmonized registers of water objects, like weirs, water intakes, water drains, instructions for water objects, or water permits, and makes it possible to keep these registers, to visualize them and to perform analysis on them. This way you can manage nationwide investments, drought prevention or retention plans for example. In addition to typical GIS solutions, our implementation for Polish Waters included comprehensive support for the customer's business processes, and electronic tools for servicing Polish Waters customers, citizens, companies, local authorities and more. Let me give you a super short overview of the MZS system. It has two main objectives: document workflow and case management, including delegation. The application has three main sections: cases, task and documents. So, let's see a basic workflow in the app. Firstly, I'll register a document. I'm filling the information required to go forward, like document title, document date, its type, according to a predefined structure. Now an institution submitting the document and attachments. When the document is ready in the system, we can start a case. Cases allow the users to process the document according to preset models. This is especially important in administrative proceeding, especially complex ones with many parties involved. The processes can be flexibly adjusted to all proceedings. At this moment there are over 60 implemented for Polish Waters. I'm sure the team responsible for MZS wouldn't be happy with doing the demo so quickly, but believe me, it is a powerful tool. And a huge help allowing Polish Waters to work remotely in the COVID era. Let me just tell you that MZS is used every day by 5,000 users. In 2020, 300,000 cases were created and over 1 million documents processed. Recently, there's been 7,000 documents registered each day. Everything running smoothly with high security standards. In GISPartner, we strongly believe that the usage of GIS technology should not be limited to professionals. Let me briefly tell you about our participation portals concept, which makes a perfect example of that approach. We saw a huge need among Polish citizens to use online tools to communicate with public administration. And therefore, we created a national map of security risks, KMZB in short. Based on National Geoportal secure and efficient technology, Polish police gained a tool to receive a wide range of order violations from the citizens. From V, as in vandalism, to S as in speeding. Well, it definitely sounded better in Polish. But still, there are a lot of things anyone can report, and categories are easily configurable. Thanks to wide accessibility and ease of use, there has already been 2 million reports from the app that the Polish police received and processed. The indisputable success of KMZB gave us the impulse to implement the solution in other areas, important for citizens in Poland, and not managed by the police. One of them is, with no doubt, the fight for cleaner air. Lesser Poland is the area where the problem is especially visible, but also the local authorities are very active. And this resulted in launching the system called Eco-Intervention, an easy way to report when someone is using illegal fuels to warm their houses. This is one of the main sources of harmful substances emission in wintertime. At the end of the first winter when the solution was available, we can already say we hit the bull's eye, with thousands of illegal practices reported. It's not only reduced the emission of harmful substances, but also contributed to building the awareness of shared responsibility. As we saw a great need of an IT solution supporting the idea of social participation, we also created a cloud-based, software as a service, tool which can be easily implemented also in a local scale. All of the mentioned systems are based on a similar concept. So let me give you a very brief demo of it. The citizens can report the order violations either from web or mobile apps. Using mobile is of course more natural, as one can report a problem where, and when, the violation took place. So, let's use the app. It can locate the user automatically, but this time we'll search manually for a place in the heart of city of Krakow. We can switch to orthophotomap for easy location. Okay, we saw that something inappropriate for the royal city of Krakow happened just here. Now we can see a list of all type events we can report in the app. As mentioned earlier, the list can be easily configured by the administrator of the system. Today we will report a lovely pile of trash. A simple form to be filled. We can add an optional description, time of the event, pictures and videos. And that's it. Our report is visible on the map and, at the same time, sent to an institution responsible for dealing with the event we've just reported. Now, let's see how this is processed from the operator perspective. We're now logged into web interface for the institution responsible for that area and selected types of events. We can see the list of reports. This may be quite long, so filtering is a good idea. There are plenty of options here. Let's use two particularly useful. We will narrow the list based on their status. That will display only unprocessed ones. This check mark here will shorten the list to the events which are visible on the map. Oh, that is much shorter. So let's click on the event to see its details. This is the place where the operator is processing the report. First of all, as we need to verify the report, let's change the status to in verification. Then add some remarks. Save. We can see that the color of our report has changed to yellow, which shows the new status of it. The same happened on the map visible for the citizens. The person sending the report will receive a push notification about every status change. Advanced technology, easy usage. Let's the promo clip of our cloud system work as a summary. This is like a cherry on top. A huge subject, so today we'll just give you a sneak peek of it. Graph analytics analyzes relationships between entities rather than numeric data. By using graph algorithms and relationships in graph databases, graph analytics solutions are uncovering insights in fields like social network analysis, fraud detection, supply chain and search engine optimization. Graph is a mathematical term, and it represents relationships between entities. It's composed of two elements, a node and a relationship. Each node represents an entity, a person, place, thing, category or other piece of data. Each relationship represents how two nodes are associated. This general-purpose structure allows to model all kinds of scenarios. Let me name a few examples here. Compliance. Graph analytics are used to spot frauds or criminals and unlawful actions such as money laundering and payments to sanctioned entities. To detect criminals, analysts use the data of social media, texting, phone calls and emails to create a graph that shows how these data are related to criminals' records. With that graph, government agencies can identify threats from non-obvious patterns of relationships. National security. Graph analytics is being used by national intelligence agencies to detect unlawful activity. Communication activity of both suspected and not suspected individuals are collected and analyzed to identify non-obvious relationships and identify potential crimes. Recommendation engines. Lists of people, products or services someone is more likely to be interested in. These recommendations rely on collaborative filtering, which is a method commonly used by recommendation engines. Collaborative filtering relies on graph analytics to identify similar users and enables personalized recommendations. Healthcare. Since the viruses, like SARS-CoV-2, are highly infectious, using a graph database can help governments track the spread of them. Journalism. Here comes the classic example of using graph analytics to identify networks of relationships. This is the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists research on Panama Papers. This research shed light on how authoritarian leaders and politicians used complex sets of shell companies to obscure their wealth from the public. Armed with graph analytics and document extraction tools, journalists were able to get structured data from thousands of documents on companies in offshore jurisdictions, and use graph analytics to navigate through the structured data in the documents to identify the real owners of these companies. I'll show you now a simple demonstrational instance of the graph analytics system we built for Polish tax authorities. It's an advanced solution for identifying tax frauds. Unfortunately, the system is so confidential we cannot even reveal its name. Nevertheless, as you can see, we can freely explore the structure of connections. But we can also easily list all connection between selected nodes, including the shortest path between them. Our solution can analyze data using the following techniques: groups analyzes, cliques analyzes, relation finding, nearest neighbors, path finding, common object, relation aggregation, pattern search, social network analyzes. I could talk hours about it, but I know the time is over. Michael, Bart, was it interesting?
Wow, that was a meaty IT presentation.
We know that it was not technically detailed, but our goal was to show as much as possible in our time slot.
At least you know what to ask for, and we do encourage you to contact us. We would be happy to discuss with you our technologies and projects in details.
We decided to take some of your time as we are looking for a local partner to explore Canadian market for our solutions and our experienced software developers.
We would be more than happy to discuss business opportunities with you. No strings attached.
For now, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for organizers to have such a great conference.
It's time to wake up. Let's get back to the studio.
Wow, what a ride. Dziękuję, Michal and Bartek. I hope it's pronounced good enough. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Biljana Aničić. I'm one of the organizers of GeoIgnite. I'm an enterprise architect helping organizations with their digital transformations. And I've helped Canadian government with the federal geospatial platform and open maps. So I was able to recognize some of the work we've done in the work that you've been doing. And so thank you again and welcome. GISPartner or GISPartner is one of our gold sponsors. Thank you very much for your support. And again, please tell us more about how people can get in touch with you, because you had mentioned also that GISPartner wants to partner with people in Canada. Is that something you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for being here. It's an amazing conference. Thank you. Yes, you know, I don't want to say that we made all of the GIS projects in Poland and there is nothing to do here more, but we are definitely, we are sure about our competences, about our experience, about the solutions and the products, in fact. So we are, for a few years now, we are looking for partners abroad also. Canadian market looks very interesting for us because it's a huge market with lots of possibilities, with lots of needs. We checked before the conference, and we are deeply. We definitely think that our solutions can fit your market, and together with the local partners, working especially for the public administration, we can provide the solutions that we implemented here in Poland.
Michal, I feel that especially sort of you kind of described a bit of history, or you know, back when the you know, Berlin Wall fell, and from that moment and on, and basically how your company was created on top of some kind of a how many kilos big computer, and so the digital transformation that you've experienced and actually led in Poland. Obviously, parts of it happened in Canada, but I see in sort of last couple of pieces of your presentation with sort of the networking and social networking, leveraging social networking data, leveraging additional data sources, the analytics, networking analytics, I guess, and all these sort of more sort of advanced capabilities. I can see that being of interest, obviously, to the Canadian government and the markets. We have done our share of digital transformation, of course, but building on top of that and leveraging data for decision support is something that is clearly needed.
Yes, definitely. You know, as a partner, as a member of European Union, we are. Poland is one of the leading countries regarding GIS technology, definitely. So we follow all the requirements set up by the European Union, and definitely GIS is changing last couple of years. And the project about these graphs you mentioned, yes. It's also the growing needs. Also for the security in Poland, as you probably know, here in Europe, but also in North America, it's a crucial issue at the moment. So we are deeply and very strongly cooperate with the public administration focused on the security and deliver solutions like we show in the video.
It's excellent. Thank you, Michal. It's funny how, you know, the mapping doesn't have to be the mapping of the sort of geospatial
yes, definitely
features, right?
changing.
The same sort of analytics applies, and whether it's proximity or, you know, buffering, whatever searches that you want to do, the filtering, the spatial filtering, but also the crowdsourcing that you have shown through the mobile apps. I really enjoyed that part as well. I really enjoyed the jokes and the sort of the funny pieces that you brought through your interesting presentation, and we really appreciate that as well. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we part? And if there are any questions or any messages you have for us?
We just like to encourage you to contact with us. You have our contacts. It will be the honest to stay in contact, to discuss the project needs, requirements. We can also share our experience. We can share with you the current needs and crucial requirements set up by the European Union, which we can also implement in North America. That was our goal, definitely, to join this conference. So once again, thanks a lot, and once again, please contact us. It will be really great to share our experience with you.
Thank you very, very much, and that's a great message. And we have quite a few people on watching, and you know, you all got the message, and thank you for that. And with that, again, thanks for your sponsorship. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for sharing your experience and knowledge. And I'm sure that many interests have been piqued with what you have demonstrated to us. So I'm sure that people will be getting in touch with you. So dziękuję, Michal and Bartek. Is that good enough?
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Take
care. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.